Hello, hi, Louis the cat. Mhm. Happy shiny days. That is great, my friend. That is fantastic. When I woke up this morning, I just discovered that I had 100 more followers. Looks like people really like the kind of posts I made, and many people just followed me after seeing the posts I made. That is fantastic. I'm really happy that many people really like the content that I created. I feel like started to do lots of meaningful things. Okay. Hello, hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, my friend. How are you, my friend? Hello, on my time. That is terrific, my friend Hedja. Yeah, good to see you as always. Yeah, so okay, so as we just start, can we just do this? Okay, can people just in the live streaming say hello to me in the comment area and just hello plus or hi plus where are you from? Like for example, I would just be saying hi from Shanghai, and can you guys just say hi from where? For example, you're in London, just say hi from London. You're in California, just say hi from California. If you're in Beijing, just say hi from Beijing. Just want to have a check and see like where are the people from right now in the live stream. Yeah. Hi, my friend from Vietnam. I'm Black America and Vietnamese and a little bit of Chinese. Wow, you're so mixed. Hi, from friend from Mexico. Hi from 田纳西州, Tennessee's right? Hi from USA. Hi from Houston. Yeah. So anyone who joined here new, can you just say hi to me? Okay, just greet with me. Okay, just say hi from where. Like, would love to know where are the people from? Where are you watching the live from? Yeah. Hi from Caribbean. Oh, we have hi, I'm from Florida. Fantastic. So good to see so many of you coming from like so many different places in here. It's fantastic and welcome no matter where you are. It would be great if we're no matter where you are, it's like just more than welcome you to come to this live streaming. I'm so happy. And hi from Peru. Wow, seeing people in here as well. And from wait, I'm mixed with North Korea and Russia. Russian. That is fantastic, my friend. 識唔識講廣東話？識講，識講。你好啊，早晨。I'm from New Jersey, from UK, from Ukraine, from Ireland. Fantastic, my friend. We have people from literally everywhere. That is fantastic. Yeah. And for new joiners, just say hi to me. It would be great. I just started, okay? Definitely need some very good vibes. Just say hi from where. We'd love to know where are the people from, okay? Fantastic. So we have like people from like everywhere. That is fantastic, fantastic. So happy to see all the people in here. And for people in here, I prepared this new fan. If you have any questions about China, very welcome you to ask, okay? Very welcome you to ask. Anything about China, very welcome you to ask, okay? What is this show about? It's about sharing China. So a bit of background about myself. I am 100% Chinese, my friend, even though I speak quite good English. So from time to time, I would receive questions from or receive comments from people asking, hey, where are you from? Are you half Chinese? Yes, I'm half Chinese, but the other half of me is also Chinese. So I am 100% Chinese, okay? And I am currently in Shanghai, living in Shanghai. And I was born in Shanghai, raised up in Shanghai, went to school in Shanghai. So knew a lot about China. So if you have any question about China, just feel free to send in the questions, okay? According to many of my old followers, I am considered to be quite knowledgeable about many things in about China. So if you have any questions about China, if you have anything you want to know about me, myself, just sending all the questions in the comments area, okay? That would be great. 没想到老外这么多吧，Derek？是的，我们这边的直播间的一个非常大的一个不同的点就在于，有着非常多不同国家的人。 Yeah, that's a very cool fan, right? But this is like too big. So I'm actually making a smaller one so that whenever I use it, you guys can see it. It's too big. Otherwise, it's gonna cover the entire of my face. But like, I guess you guys like my face, right? I'm dating a Chinese girl now. Any tips? Yeah, I made a post about like dating Chinese people, right? So okay. Before I answer your question, just so you guys know that hello, my friend from Ethiopia. Good to see you. Have you guys followed me? If you haven't followed me, please follow me, okay? Yeah, just so you guys know that. Okay, so there is a main topic for today, okay? There's a main topic for today. Well, actually, there is a main topic for this week, okay? The main topic is about how what are the Chinese wisdom, or actually the wisdom from the entire world, no matter which country you're from? You could also share your part of wisdom, the secret sauce of how to make us our lives longer, like how to live longer. Okay, that's the major topic. Okay, so but from time to time, because there are comments sending in and asking question about different stuff about China, so I would answer. However, after I answer those questions, I would just go back to the main topic, which is how to live longer. Yeah. Do you have live bands? What do you mean by live bands? Like, do I play in the live bands? I don't, my friend. I'm a bad, terrible singer. Yeah. So back to the question, like you're dating, so Santiago, right? You're dating a Chinese girl. Any tips? So I mean, like, okay, quick answer to that. Okay, feel like Chinese girls compared to the many of the Western girls. I'm not sure where you're from, but I mean, there are people from the US. There is an official survey that says that for American women, they value like humor to be the most important thing. If you're like very humorous, you can make the girl laugh, like girls like very happy already. However, for the Chinese girl, like we actually value other things more. Well, humor is also very important, right? For example, personally, I do consider humor to be very important. However, there are things that's more important. For example, whether this person is very responsible. Are you able to support the family financially? Are you able to just make the girl feel like you're very reliable? Those are like very important, okay? Also, just so you know, so I know like in some of the Western cultures, when a couple, like new couple comes out and dating, like the bill is split. However, in China, it's not like that. So it's always the men who pay the majority of the bill, okay? So it's Santiago, right? If you are dating the Chinese girl, just make sure you pay for everything. The girl might offer to pay some small things, for example, pay for the movie tickets, let her to pay for that. But if you guys go out for like eating, you pay for the dinner, and go to the amusement park, you pay for the tickets. Well, she might pay for the popcorn, but like everything, majority of the thing must be paid by you. Okay, so that's a Chinese culture. So that's the very important, I guess, the most important thing. Like many foreigners don't know, because some of my British friends, English friends said that somehow like in some of them, like in some part of the English culture, when couples go out and date, like it's like split the bill. Like I know that's kind of the things, culture in many of the Western countries. However, that is considered to be quite stingy here in China. Okay, so definitely do that. Okay, so while I'm gonna also answer some other questions, if you guys have any questions about China, don't forget to send your questions in. And the screen. This fan is definitely a bit too big, a bit too big. Definitely gonna need to change it. Okay, yeah. So that is what my grandfather taught me. That is fantastic. But let's go. Yeah. And also, if a Chinese girl pays the bill, it means she's dumping you. That is definitely true, my friend. That is definitely true. You know about it, Haywood. Yeah. So okay. Uh okay, a little bit about our main topic today, and I'll go back to answer the question, okay? So guys, you just sending the question. So for CJ, when you come in, you're saying with things happening. Yeah, can China people have blue eyes? We don't have blue eyes, okay? Only Westerners have blue eyes. We all have like black eyes. Well, there are certain type of Chinese people would have blue eyes. I guess it's because when they grow up, they don't have enough nutrition. It's like I remember it's because some people they lack the vitamin Z. I think it's is it vitamin Z or vitamin what? Like for that type of vitamin, when you don't have that kind of vitamin, then you would have this problem of blue eyes. But that is not good. That's not good for health. So that's just why today we're talking about like how to keep the body to be healthy in order to live 140 years old, okay? 140 years old. Why Chinese girls have a baby face? Do you think I have a baby face? Do you think I have a baby face, my friends? If you think I have a baby face, type 1. Type 1. Yeah, I have something to set up. Yeah. I have something to set up, but somehow why this is layout is different from before, my friend. Yeah. Jim，我好像设置不了哎。我可以看一下哈，就昨天研究的和实际实操的过程当中感觉不太一样。想把你加成管理员，但是 somehow 这个 layout 和之前的不太一样。Okay, guys, follow me please. Okay, follow me please. And do you think I have a baby face? If you think I have a baby face, type 1 in here. If you don't think I have a baby face, just type 1. If you think I have a baby face, type 1. If you don't think I have a baby face, still type 1. So that you make me feel like I have a baby face. Oh, that is so funny, my friend. Hello, my friend from Poland. Wow, we're having lots of people in here and TikTok as well. That is fantastic. Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah. Okay, guys. So how many of you want to live 140 years old? Yeah, let me know in the comment area. How many of you want to live 140 years old? Like if you want to live 140 years old, type yes in the comment area. You're gorgeous, you kidding me? You do? You do? How many of you want to live 140 years old? Well, there are people saying nope. Do you want to live 140 years old? If you do, type yes in the comment area. Well, there are many people on TikTok said they want to live 140 years old. Somehow on Red Note, not many people want to live 140 years old. What happened to you guys? Yeah. Like what do you want to live 140 years old? Yeah? Do you want to live 140 years old? I mean, like there's so many people out there saying that they want to live forever. However, here on Red Note, nobody says they want to live 140 years old. People on Red Note, what happens to you? Guys, what happens to you guys? Give me some answers. Like even you don't want to live 140 years old, that is fine. Just say no, right? We need more interactions in here, my friend. I don't have income to survive to 140 years old. When you are 140 years old, you will have plenty of ideas, plenty of ways to make a living and make enough money to make you live longer, I think. Yeah. I'm live from Shanghai, my friend. Yeah. So, okay, let's see. I want to live around 60. That is because you're young, my friend. That's why you say you want to live around 60. So my dad, when he was young, right, around 40 years old, like he used to smoke a lot. And I said, no, dad, you should not smoke. You know, I really hate smoking because I really hate the smell of smoking. So I said that, dad, don't smoke. Like smoking is bad for your health. And if you continue to smoke, you're gonna die early. I said that to him, and he's like, it's okay, you know. I don't want to live long. I feel like 60 years old is enough. I will be happy to die at 60 years old. And now he's 60 years old. Oh my God. Like 5 years ago. Wait. Well, actually, he quit smoking, I think it's 7 years ago. I think, you know, when he's approaching the age of 60, like the doctor said, if you continue to smoke like this, you're going to have a big heart surgery. And he quit smoke immediately. So when he's really 60, he's like, oh my God, I need to quit smoking. Like, I want to live longer. So, my friend, when you say that you're satisfied with the age of 60, that's because you're young, okay? Wait till you're 60 to see whether you still want to live the age of 60. I'm pretty sure you want to live beyond 60, my friend. That's definitely right. My brother told our grandma to stop poking those cigarettes. What do you mean by poking the cigarettes? Why do you poke the cigarettes? 60 is a good age. 60 in China, many people just started their like life, right? Because that's the age of like those elderlies retired, right? And many elderly when they started, when they retired, they started a whole new world of their retirement life, right? Guys, if you haven't checked my post, you haven't checked the post that I made about the retirement life in China, you guys should definitely check it. How many of you have checked the post I made about the elderly, the retired people? How many of you guys have checked it? Like, you have seen the post I made, type 1. If you haven't seen the post type 2, my friend, how many of you have super idol 的笑容? You guys have all watched Speed, right? Speed singing the song Super Idol 的笑容 da 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 da. Yeah. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. How many of you have seen the post I made about the elderly, the retired people? Oh my god, the retired people, they're living an exciting life, and life that is so much more exciting than the life that I'm living right now, my friend. Me also, I quit smoking after I smoked for more than 15 years. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, there's a saying that for a man, if you're able to quit smoking, you can literally do anything. And for a girl, there's saying that if you could lose weight, you could literally do anything because it's extremely hard to quit smoking, right? You have to have a what to say 钢铁般的意志. You have to be like very strong perseverance, in order to quit smoking, right? Because smoking really get you addicted. If you are able to just push yourself to quit smoking, you literally can do anything. So there's such a saying in China. And for girls, like losing weight is definitely something extremely hard, right? There's so many things out there that you want to eat. Somehow you have to just, refrain from eating and exercise. And yeah, that is willpower, right? You have the willpower for men. If you have the willpower to quit smoking, you could literally do anything, right? If you, like for girls, if you could lose lots of weight, that is like very strong willpower. You could literally do anything. So Hedja, I remember you quit smoking, right? So big thumb for you, my friend. Yeah. 一个听不懂，你上杨斗，你一个听不懂，那你怎么刷杨斗啊？Hello，胖胖，我的朋友。Yeah, one comedian said, "I started needing to stop smoking, but then I resumed smoking to stop needing." That is very funny. Yeah. Okay, you quit smoking for 5 times. The longest is 4 years, but back to smoking. Wait, why? What's so good about smoking? I've never tried smoking. So somehow I'm allergic to all the smoke. I couldn't even try shisha, my friend. So go to the club, the nightclub and try shisha, I would start coughing. Like I couldn't even try shisha. So that's pretty bad. Yeah. So like yesterday we discussed about, you know, drinking and smoking, right? These are definitely considered to be bad. However, for people who find it hard to quit smoking, still there's a way for you to live longer, which is to maintain a very good mindset, right? A very healthy, always to keep a very relaxed and very healthy mindset, right? So yesterday bedtime, I did a bit more reading, right? I told you guys, I share with you guys that I did a bit of reading about this new book called 命理学, right? Which was about like fortune telling using the Chinese system. And later on, also spent a bit of time studying another book, which is called 黄帝内经. That is like about so that book was actually about an ancient emperor called Huang Di, like a very ancient emperor, and the way how he was able to do many things in order to make himself live, I think 100, definitely over 100 years old. So he shared a lot of stuff, a lot of his secret sauce, and inside the book, and shared with people. Okay, so that's like definitely also very interesting. So I never smoke. I'm always been running and cycling. Wow, you're so healthy, my friend. I'm so happy for you, Velasco. I have many Chinese girlfriends. All of them look very wealthy and fit. You must be very handsome or very charming to have so many Chinese girlfriends who look very wealthy and fit, my friend. Yeah. And don't smoke, kids. Yeah. So like for nowadays, like many younger generations, we don't smoke. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about like yin and yang, right? Okay, for those of you guys who are in the live stream yesterday, okay, time to check your memory. Okay. Do people still remember what is yin and what is yang? Do people still remember what is yin and yang? My friend, send in the comment area if you still remember what is yin and what is yang, and tell me in the comment area what is yin and what is yang. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are many people in here who are from yesterday. And also, like for new joiners, we're discussing about the way of living a longer life. Okay. So, what are the Chinese wisdom to help people live a longer life? So, yesterday we shared about yin and yang. So, for those of you who are new in here, just take a guess what is yin and what is yang. What is yin and what is yang? Yeah, just take a guess. What is yin and what is yang? Yeah, I do, but I never remember which is like which is okay. Yeah, Swimming is good too. Is it popular in China? Swimming is very popular in China. For summertime, I remember in my junior high school years, like we actually need to go to, so there's a lesson. So every week there is like two lessons. Well, one lesson or two lessons, which is like swimming lessons. So we have to go to the swimming pool to learn how to swim. So I actually learned how to swim in my junior high school years, like, because that's a compulsory course in our junior high school years. Yeah. Good morning, my friend. Yeah. So yeah, guys, do you remember 是直播吗？连续3天都讲同样的内容，Harry 没有，每天讲的东西都不太一样的。但是现在是在滚故复习，然后之后会讲新的内容的，只是说主题是一样的，same topic, Harry. Okay, so for 3 days, so actually this week is going to be like very similar topic. However, there are so many things we could elaborate under the same topic. So it's always about how to live longer, but there are so many things we could discuss about living longer, right? And like what are the healthy ways of living longer, so definitely a lot to share, my friends, in here. Yeah. Hi, my friend who are new in here. Not sure where you from, my friend. And guys, for those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me. Have you guys followed me? Yeah, follow me. Yeah. So okay, so can I check if people have answered me the question, what is yin and yang? Are you 19? I'm happy that you're saying that I'm 19. I hope I'm 19. I hope I'm 19, my friend. Way beyond 19. Yeah. But just imagine I'm 19. Yeah. Okay, so this is not 录播. This is not recorded, okay, my friend. This is definitely live streaming, okay, my friend. I've learned my lesson hard. So I've did a recording or replay at the evening, and after I replayed my recording, what happened is that I could immediately feel the traffic on TikTok and Retinal got restricted. So that's what happened. So no more recording, always live. And so for those of you who want to watch the replay of the live streaming every day, one thing you could do is you guys could just follow me on YouTube or Bilibili, okay? So I also have an account on YouTube called Nitrix456, and also on Bilibili Nitrix456. Just search me there, and I would post all the replays there, okay? So that you guys could watch it and see all the live streaming, even though you miss it in the morning, okay? Yeah. So guys, back to the topic. Okay, so some people still remember what is yin and yang, right? So yesterday we shared this about, like, in the Chinese system, everything is about balance, right? So there is something called yin and something called yang. Yang is about facing the sun. Yin is about facing against the sun. So what is Bilibili? Bilibili is the Chinese version of YouTube, okay? So in China, we cannot visit YouTube. So that is why there is a website called Bilibili. People will share like long videos, and that is how Chinese people get access to many long video content creators. And that is website is called Bilibili in short, okay? So back to the topic. Okay, facing the sun is called yang, facing against the sun is yin. So I'm gonna elaborate a little bit about that. Okay, what's the topic today, Chenjia? The topic today is about how to live longer using the Chinese wisdom. Okay, using the Chinese wisdom. Okay, so facing the sun is yang. So like that is like the very surface meaning of yin and yang, right? So yang is light and yin is dark. You're right. You're right, Paulo. Yeah. And also, so if you look at the so many things in the world, right? Everything can be yang and yin. I think, like, also, how many of you guys have learned German before, or you're from Germany, or like German? So remember back then when I studied the German, I remember the words, the many of the nouns. There are like female nouns or male nouns. They also have, or in Chinese, we call some of the nouns are yang and some of the nouns are yin. For example, I remember back then when I studied German, I remember, for example, our table is male, and that's why you use der, der, as the way say the. And if you, for example, a spoon is female. Well, I don't really remember which is male, which is female. So yeah, they have like, so they have. Oh, CJ, are you from Germany? You speak German? Yeah. So they have like a female and male in the German language system, right? So the male and female is very much just like we have this here. We have like yin and yang, right? So I guess you. So both in the Western and Eastern world, like we have those kind of yin and yang system. It's like we just show it in a very different way. So back then when I learned German, I was like, wait, why is like for example, a table is male and why is a spoon female? I don't really remember what is male or female. I'm just make just randomly quoting some examples, right? Is that the only thing that so for example, for Spanish, is there any like male female thing in Spanish, my friend? Yeah, so I know there are Spanish friends in here who can speak Spanish. Can you guys let me know, like Spanish, do you guys also have like female male thing in Spanish? You're Spanish, my friend, right? Or like people who speak Spanish or Mexicans who speak Spanish, right? Does Spanish, the language Spanish, also has have like female or male thing in here? Yes. Oh, okay. So Spanish also have like female, male kind of things, right? Okay. And for all the Spanish friends in here, bienvenido mi amigo. Okay. So you also have like female, male oriented words, right? So, okay, just think about the female, male oriented words. So in Chinese, when Chinese people, table is male and chair is female. Yeah, exactly. I remember that, CK. So back then when I learned German, I was like, wait, why is a table male and a chair is female? Like, I don't really understand why. Wait, and also like I'm so curious, like how can you guys remember what is female, what is male? This is so confusing, right? You know, so just make a tiny bit of joke, like, well, so a table is male and a chair is female. Like, what does that mean? Are they gonna get married and like does that mean like a chair and a table are gonna have sex later? Just a tiny bit of joke, okay? Yeah, so that's really hard to remember many things, right? So like however, we can do a bit of like a metaphor, right? So when the Chinese people, when we learn German and when we learn or Spanish, so the way we say female and male, we don't say female and male. We actually say, one is yin, one is yang. For example, when you guys say like table is male and chair is female, we would say table is yang and chair is yin, right? Remember, we say chair, we say yang is facing the sun, yin is facing against the sun. So when Chinese people learn all the foreign languages that has like a female male thing, we don't say like, oh, this is female and that is male. We say, oh, okay, this is yang, this is facing the sun, and the other is facing against the sun. That is yin and yang. 我们是用阴和阳来去分辨这个外语当中的男和女的。对吧? Right, my friend? You guys understand it. You don't represent Chinese. I do, my friend, Momo. I do represent Chinese. I am 100% Chinese, okay? And I'm a Chinese who have learned German. So even though I only learned for 2 months, so I remember everything, right? Back then when I learned German, like in Chinese, all the Chinese people, for if there are Chinese people in here who have learned German, you guys could also, you know, just resonate with me or in the comments area. Like when we learn German, like we say like, oh, 桌子是阳的，椅子是阴的. We wouldn't say that 桌子是男的，椅子是女的, right, my friend? Yeah, so that is definitely true, right? So we say that. So that's the whole system. Okay, so like in the Chinese system, when we say about yin and yang, it's always about like way in facing the sun. It means like everything is like very strong, lots of energy, lots of sunshine, and like it's more like men, right? If you say like sun and if you say light and shade or sun or moon, you usually would think like sun to be like men and moon to be the night would be like ladies, right? Because ladies are more like tender, soft, while sun is like very strong, like hard, those kind of feelings, right? So that is also the kind of feeling of yin and yang. So yin and yang are two very different concepts. 没有在教语言, my friend. I'm not teaching the language, my friend. I'm just sharing about the Chinese culture, okay? And the major topic today is about how to live longer, how to live 140 years old, okay? Yeah. So so like, wait, all of a sudden, why you say May 20th is Valentine's Day? Who will give you $520? You know about the Chinese culture. That is great, my friend. Yeah. So we were saying that about yin and yang. So if you look at the entire Chinese system, yin and yang literally applies to all the things. Applies to all the things. we were saying like when we learn, we were saying that when we learn a new language, right? Learning the language of German, when in German you guys have those female male things when it comes to nouns, right? A table is man, a chair is female. We use yin and yang to say a table is yang, a chair is yin, right? And also we also say that anything in the life. So when I read this 命理学, this book, it was discussing that in the yesterday, the part that is, so um let me think how to say it. It's saying that okay, anything that is bright, that is good about the life is considered to be yang. However, anything that is shady, that is not so good, might be considered to be yin. This is like one way of saying it. Also, we could say that anything that is strong requires lots of sunshine, that is yang. Anything that grows secretly at night requires the energy from the moon, that is yin. You guys have a general like taste of what is yin and yang, right? So there's also a saying in China that it's always a balance. I shared multiple times that everything is about balance, right? So these are not only about how to make your life to be healthier, how to live longer. It's also about what is also about the philosophy, right? So because I was sharing that, I definitely was, very interested in learning about these kind of stuff. So I was actually really learning lots of these from reading books, but also following content creators. So there is a very interesting content creators I just followed yesterday on Red Note, and she was sharing about all the knowledge she learned from Huangdi Neijing. And so usually in her video, the first part was about reading one line inside Huangdi Neijing, explain it. What does it mean? And afterwards, she would then, start to say, how does that mean? And what does it mean? Like 哲学，我靠，怎么说哲学啊？哲学是，我靠，怎么说？Oh my god，how to say 哲学要死，一下子脑子短路了。Philosophical, yeah, philosophical, philosophically, yeah. So, for example, she's also sharing about yin and yang. So, one way of living a longer life is about following and living in a way that everything goes with the nature, right? You have to live a pattern that is following the nature and also pay attention to all the balance between the yin and yang, right? For example, oh, thank you so much, my friend. You guys are helping me a lot. Yeah. So it's not that I don't know the word philosophy. It's just from time to time, all of a sudden, when I'm sharing lots of the things in Chinese, like my brain's actually, functioning, thinking everything in Chinese. So it's actually pretty hard. Like I'm sharing everything about China, thinking in a very Chinese way, and at the same time have to translate everything directly into Chinese, and that is very hard to do, my friend. So there might be a time that I all of a sudden I don't remember what's the word for this English for a Chinese word, what's the English way of saying a Chinese word. If that happens, I'm just gonna seek help from you guys, and you guys are just gonna help me, okay, my friend? Yeah. So, and guys, follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? So back to the topic about yin and yang, right? So we're saying that the body, the energy inside the body is also about yin and yang, right? So for example, when you eat lots of the food that is considered to be hot, okay, for example, inside the fruit can also be like yin and yang. Vegetables can also be yin and yang, right? So for example, usually the fruits that is grown in, for example, Southeast Asia, those are the fruits that grows by absorbing lots of the sunlight. So many of the fruits grown in Southeast Asian are actually considered to be the hot fruit, and they would provide lots of the yang energy to the body. For example, mangoes, right? Mangoes are grown in places where there are lots of sunshine. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree? Like mangoes are the fruit that is, you know, that is, grow up requires lots of sunshine. Do you guys agree? Do you guys, how many of you guys really like mango? How many of you guys really like mango? Do you like mango? Do you like mango? Why do you apologize, my friend? Do you 雪花飘飘，北风萧萧. Why you so all of a sudden said that? Yeah, do you guys like mango? Mango is yum, right? Many people really like mango, right? Yeah, mango. Yeah. So for example, mango is grown by exposing itself to a lot of sunshine, right? Absorbing a lot of sun. So sun energy. So that is why mango is considered to be the yang fruit. By eating too many mangoes, you would like accumulate a lot of like heat in your body, right? If you eat too many mangoes, what will happen? Your body will start to have not so good balance, right? The balance will be broken because hi, my friend from Korea, welcome in here. Yeah. So then that's how you start to break the balance because you have too much of the heat in your body. Yang 太盛了, right? You have too much of the yang, which means facing the sun, right? You have too much of the yang energy in your body, you start to become ill. You start to have all the symptoms, like you start to have ulcers in your mouth, and you start to have pimples in your body. You start to feel like very hot in the palm, in the center of the palm, and you start to feel like psychologically you start to feel always like very anxious, like impatient about many things. All of these are because you have too much of the heat in your body, like too much of the yang energy in you, right? So when that happens, what you need to do, you need to make the balance back to normal, right? So how to make the balance back to normal? Because you have too much of the yang energy, you need to release it. You need to release the yang energy. You need to release the heat inside your body. And what should you do? You should start to eat something or drink something that's going to help you release all the heat in you. 这时候要吃点阴的食物了. You try to eat something that is yin, okay? So what are the fruit, vegetables that is good at releasing the heat in your body? Lots of vegetables, lots of the herbs. Exactly, drinking herbal tea. Some of the herbal tea is good at releasing the heat, right? For example, one of the very commonly seen vegetable, which is celery. Okay, banana, not banana, my friend. Yeah, you like banana, my friend? Yeah, celery. Celery is heavily used in the Western culinary system, like Western cuisines, right? Celery. Like, how many people really like celery? Do you guys like celery? To be honest, yeah, watermelon also a very yin kind of fruit, 很yin的 fruit, right? Watermelon as well, right? 荔枝 is hot. 荔枝 is how to say 荔枝啊？荔枝英文怎么说？ Yeah. So how many guys like celery? Yeah, how many guys like celery? Like I don't like celery, and it has like a very special smell, special taste, a very strong smell and strong taste. Yeah, okay. Lychee. Yeah, lychee is 荔枝. Lychee is the young fruit. Okay, gonna add to the heat. Okay. So like celery is a very yin fruit, in vegetable, okay? So celery and cucumber. How many guys like cucumber? Yeah, guys like cucumber. I'm good with celery, but not my favorites. Yeah, cucumber. Cucumber, I believe many people like it because it's very fresh, right? So for example, cucumber and celery, these are the vegetables that's considered to be in vegetable because these are the vegetables that are going to release the heat from your body. Okay. So for example, so when you're having too much heat in your body, for example, you have eaten lots of mangoes or barbecues or pizza, those are all roasted chicken, all those kind of food, especially those kind of food that is cooked using lots of the heat. Okay. So when we talk about, you like the earrings, right? Thank you, my friend, by saying there's a cute earrings. Yeah. So persimmons, what are persimmons? Louis the cat. I don't know what's a Chinese. Can anyone help me translate Louis cat? Is it called persimmons or persimmons? Anyhow, don't know what fruit is that. It's the very first time I heard about this fruit. I might know the Chinese name, but I just don't know what does it mean in English. Yeah. So anyhow, 柿子. Oh, okay. 柿子. Yeah. 柿子. Yeah. Okay. Persimmons. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, CJ, for teaching me how to say it, how to pronounce it. Persimmon. Yeah. Persimmon is also a very yin fruit. Okay. Releasing the heat. So that's how you, okay. You guys are already seeing it, right? There are lots of fruit that is considered to be the young fruit or young vegetables. So young fruit, young vegetables are supposed to provide heat to your body. And there are also vegetables and fruit that is considered to be yin, that's going to release the heat of your body. Also, there are lots of fruit that is considered to be in the middle, okay? Lots of fruit and vegetable that's considered to be in the middle. So there's a period of time when no matter what I eat, I would actually, just check it on Xiaohongshu, just search on Xiaohongshu, okay, to see whether this vegetable or this fruit is yang or this vegetable or this fruit is yin. I would actually do that because I want to keep a good balance of my body. So I have previously shared with you guys, right? Like by watching your tongue, you could actually see whether you're having too much of the yang in your body, or you're having like too much yin in your body, you're having less yang, less yin in your body, right? So how many of you guys were in my live streaming when I shared about that? So how many of you guys raise your hand if you you were in my live streaming when I share about like how to observe your tongue to uh to get to know like whether you're having lots of yin energy and yang energy. Yeah, raise your hand. Okay, just type a small hand gesture in the comment area. Let me see if you were in my live streaming when I shared that. I like your accent. That is fantastic, my friend. Yeah. So okay. So like so there's a really yeah, Hedja, Louis the Cat. You guys must always be here. I'm pretty sure like you guys were there. Yeah. So okay. So one way to observe whether you're having too much like heat, which means like too much yang energy in your body, is by watching your tongue. Okay. So yeah, no dog, you were there too. I remember. Yeah. For example, okay, so there's like a filter, okay, so you probably don't see the color of my tongue very right, but somehow like just take out the mirror and look at your own tongue, okay? So for example, there is one type of tongue that is called yin xu huo wang, which means that you are having less yin but a lot of yang. So typical type of tongue, if you are suffering from like less yin and too much yang, very typical look of this tongue is going to be like very red, okay? So just look at your tongue. If your tongue is like very, very red, for example, usually the very, very healthy kind of tongue is pink, like a little bit red, kind of pinkish kind of red. That is considered to be very healthy. Some vegetables will change when cooked too, right? Yeah, exactly. Louis the cat. Yes, I'm gonna come back to that. So, but like if you observe your tongue, you could see. So, for example, if your tongue is like really, really red, yeah, so like a very, very red. Some also like maybe on top of the tongue, you could even see some of the patterns that looks like the seeds on strawberries. Okay, if you remember strawberries, they are like the seeds, right? A little dot thing on strawberries. If you look at it, you observe your tongue, and you see like the tongue, the entire tongue is, oh my God, I really want to show you, but whenever I show you, I couldn't speak. Okay, so let's see what are the things that I can do. Okay, yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna just draw it. That may be easy. I'm gonna draw it. Yeah, need to have a paper. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a paper. Okay. 拿一张纸过来. Okay, my friend. Yeah, so okay, so I'm gonna draw a tongue, okay, so that I don't use my tongue, because whenever I use my tongue, I cannot talk. Okay, yeah, not so good at drawing, so you guys just watch. Oh, yeah, oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so this is a tongue, okay. Oh my God, this is so funny. My goodness. Okay, just imagine this as a very beautiful mouth and very beautiful tongue. Okay. Oh my God, this is tongue is the tongue I draw is so funny, but somehow. Okay, just pretend it is a very good tongue. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. I am the type of person who would burst into laugh very easily. Okay. In Chinese, we say 我的笑点很低. The point that I can laugh is pretty low. I have a very low laugh point. You know, any tiny thing just could make me laugh. Okay. Just pretend this is a very beautiful tongue. Okay. So, for example, if this is your tongue, okay, just take out mirror and just look at your tongue, okay? So say for example, if your tongue is very red, okay, first of all, you need to observe. You need to observe the shape of your the color of your tongue. Okay, the first thing is to observe the color of your tongue. Okay, so some of people, your color might be like really pale, really white. That's also not good. Some people, your tongue might be like really red. That is also not good. Okay, sit taller so that you guys can see it better. Yeah. Okay. This here. Yeah, better, right? So me too, you laugh, right? Yeah. So here, like if you see the tongue, just take out the mirror and take a look at your is pink, right? Velasco. That means like you're very healthy. Okay. Pink is best. Pink is best. Okay. So if you have a very color is pink, that is terrific. Okay. However, some people the color is like overly pink, like pink almost to the extent that it becomes like quite red. It's like pink is like very, very strong pink. Like the best is like the pale pink, right? Like pink, like relatively pink, but not so pink, pink in the middle of like pink and and white, that is like best. If you are like the pink, it's like up to a point, it's like very hot pink, almost to red to the extent it's like very red. That it means that you're having too much yang, too much heat, okay, in your body, and less in inside your body. Okay, so first thing is to observe the color. Okay, the second thing is to observe the shape. Okay, the second thing is to observe the shape. Okay, so you take up your tongue, you will notice that some people, when they put out your tongue, the shape will be like this. I can do it. Okay. uh, okay, so it's like very, very hard to say, 很细啊. It's very, very slim, like very slim tongue, like this. However, some people, like for me, when you ask me to, hey, can I see your tongue? Like the tongue would be this shape, right? And some people, the kind of the tongue when they take out the tongue, it's very wide. It's like very, very thick and very wide. It's like a very, very big piece. Yeah, you would also need to observe and on the side to see like how thick it is, right? Right, like mine is like okay, but some people, their tongue is like very, very thick. Okay, yeah, so narrow and pointy. So some people's tongue is like very narrow and pointy. Some people is like very thick and very big, 很肥大, right? So the second thing is to observe the shape of your tongue, because that is also very important. That is also very important because different shape also means different things. For example, I previously shared that 能卷舌头啊，我不是舌头的才艺主播小罗飞，不要提这种奇怪的要求，好吧？Yeah. So like for example, so if your tongue, if you look at your tongue, if your tongue is like I said, very heavy, very big, and that means that you're having like too much water in your body. Like I said, like you probably would suffer from like swelling feet, you know, feeling very tired every day, you know. What is this all about? It's about using the Chinese wisdom to help you live a longer life. You know, what are the Chinese wisdom we have in here? The Chinese wisdom, people to help people to live a longer, healthier, longer life. Okay. 肥大就是湿气重，身体里边湿气很重。Okay, then so it's because like for example, you might be living in a very humid climate, so there are lots of water in the air. All those water would come into your body, and your body all of a sudden would accumulate too much water, and that's why like your tongue, when you observe it, the water is inside the tongue as well, so the tongue becomes like quite swelling as well. So your tongue might look very big. Okay, so for example, if your tongue looks very pointy and very narrow, that's also not good. That means like you probably means like you also at the very same time, usually like a pointy narrow tongue would also have a very red color. And also if on top of the tongue, if you see like lots of like what we say like strawberry kind of dot, strawberry seeds kind of dot, like in red on it, it means that you're having too much heat in your body. In that sense, then you would have to release the heat in your body by what? By rebalancing your diet, right? Rebalancing your diet, and you will have to start to see what are the things you should eat and what are the things you should not eat, right? For example, we say that, okay, you have eaten lots of mangoes, and mangoes are considered to be the yang fruit, right? It's like the heat fruit, the hot fruit. When eating lots of mangoes, you're going to accumulate lots of the heat inside your body. And after a while, probably you start to have like imbalance, like you break the balance, you have too much heat in your body, not enough heat in, not enough in your body, right? So that's the moment you will need to start to eat those kind of in fruit or in vegetables. What's a great example of in fruit? In vegetables, for example, watermelon is a good in fruit. It is very good for releasing the heat, right? And also celeries also is a very good in vegetable, good to release the heat, right? And also cucumbers, right? There are many things. 寒者热之，热者寒之. Exactly. When you're having too much heat, release the heat by eating something that is cold. When there is too much coldness in you, eat something that is hot to enhance the heat level inside your body. So it's never good to have too much of the heat or too much of the coldness. It's always about the balance. Yin和yang, it's always a balance. When you have that balance of yin and yang, that's the moment when you feel most comfortable about yourself, most energetic, most comfortable. Like every day is all good. So when you're having like too much yang or too much yin, that's usually also the moment you start to get sick. Yeah. Yeah. Confucius says the right amount of tariffs prevent a puffy tongue in your enemies. My friend, you are so funny. You're so funny. Yeah. What do you want to do when you're 100 years old? That's what you should do today. Yeah, exactly. I like that too, my friend. I like that too, my friend. Yeah. So, those are the very beautiful Chinese wisdom when it comes to eating. Okay. So, to keep a balance in your body so that you would live a longer life, right? Also, like in China, we say that for women, when you are having a period, okay. So, for ladies, right? Ladies, we have period, right? So whenever we have period in Chinese, we say that in China, all the Chinese know, no matter men or women, we know that during the time when women have period, it's also the time that we are the weakest, right? You guys also, even in the West, we also have those kind of a system of the ovulation system, right? Every month, one this point of time that you're in what kind of period, and then you would have like what kind of symptoms, etc., right? So for women as well, right? For females, during the time that we're having our period is also the time we're weakest. So during that period of time, we're not supposed to eat things that is considered to be too cold. Okay. For example, I know like for example, drinking celery juice is considered to be a very healthy way, like because it's like very good way to detox, right? Celery is a very good celery juice is considered to be a very good detox kind of drink, right? Many people in the West, they would drink celery on a daily basis because that is going to remove all the toxic inside the body. However, for ladies, okay, just don't drink celery juice during your period because celery juice is too cold, and when you're in your period, that is the time that you're weakest. Your body is having the least young energy. And you still drink celery. By doing that, what you would do is that you probably will suffer from the what's it called? Menstrual pain. 痛经怎么说? Menstrual menstrual what's the word? What's the word? What's the word? 痛经 mention something pain, right? You would feel the pain for your period. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So for example, what are the good thing to drink during the period for ladies? Like drink ginger tea. Menstrual cramps. Yeah, yeah. Menstrual cramps. Yeah, menstrual cramps. Yes, thank you, my friend, for teaching me that. All of a sudden couldn't come up with this word. Yes, exactly. So, okay, so for all the guys, okay, for the guys in here, if you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, right? So, one way of showing that you really care for her, right, is whenever they have a period, prepare ginger tea and say, like, hey, honey, don't drink celery juice because that is not good for your menstrual cramps. And just drink hot water, drink ginger tea. And according to the Chinese theory, that is gonna provide lots of the young energy to your body and make you feel a lot better, you know? Yeah, so that is the Chinese thing. So there's like a very interesting thing saying that. So guys don't know about it, about the period ladies have, right? So whenever their girlfriend and wives have the period, then the guys will say, drink some hot water, drink some hot water. And also, it's so interesting that the ladies, usually when we are having our period, is also the time that we become so angry, like so losing the temper, right? So emotionally not so stable. There are like very interesting content creators making videos of their families. For example, when the ladies is having the period or is about to have the period, when they are the weakest and their temper is the worst, they just feel like very impatient about many things, and the guy, the husband would say, okay, drink more hot water, drink hot water, and ladies were like, is drinking hot water the only thing you know? Why don't you do the home housework, house chores? you know why are you only asking me to drink hot water? Hey, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. Buy me a bag, something like that. There are like very interesting content creators making contents like that. And that is like so, so, so funny. Yeah. And also, yeah, ginger tea, because ginger is considered to be the young vegetable, right? Ginger provides lots of heat to the body. So drinking ginger tea is good for period, also good for example, if you are having a cold, okay? So for example, if you're having a cold and then drink ginger tea, right? We always say ginger tea. I think it's like unanimous not only in the Chinese system, also in the Western system, you guys would also have like drink ginger tea, right? Because you're having you caught a cold because you're like so cold outside, and you are outside when the weather is really cold, you caught a cold. So by drinking ginger tea, that's provide the young energy, the heat to your body, right? So it's very important for 140 years old sister looks good. Yeah, 反正老祖宗都这么说, right? So like that is why, like my friend, it's very important if we want to all live 140 years old. So according to the traditional Chinese theory, that everyone, if you live your life to the fullest, you should be able to live 140 years old, right? So that's why like we need to discuss in depth like how should we live to the full our life to the fullest and live 140 years old, still very healthy and very energetic every day, right? So one of the things we need to do is by forming the eating habits that is helping our body to always regain the balance, right? From time to time, because of different reasons, our body will become imbalanced, right? I say before that, for example, if we go to a place that is extremely, extremely cold, like too cold, the coldness will cause our body to become imbalanced, right? For example, like right now in Shanghai, my body is really balanced, right? I have enough yin and enough yang. And all of a sudden, I go to North Pole, right? It's so, so, so cold. What would happen? It becomes like because the weather is so cold, I don't have enough yang to support all the coldness. Like yang is short, right? Then I need to eat some food. For example, I need to eat lamb. Lamb is considered to be a very hot meat, right? This is the meat that could provide the young energy, the heat to your body, so that I would eat the lamb in order to, provide more young energy, more heat to my body, so that my body will regain the balance, right, my friend? Right? So, if, for example, here in Shanghai right now, the weather is becoming warm, right? It's springtime, and I still continue to eat lots of lamb, what would happen? What happened? I eat lots of lamb, that I would have too much heat in my body, then it becomes not so balanced. I start to become sick, right? So it's all about the balance. You have to always observe what's going on in your body and also observe what are the places you go, right? And depending on what are the things that happen to you, right? And also, for example, we also say that for men, right, you also need to, eat lots of the sun energy, young food, right? When it's the period of time when you and your wife decide to have a baby, right? You want to plan to have a baby, then you must have to do lots of like the nighttime exercise. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And those nighttime exercises is gonna cause your body to consume lots of the young energy in your body, right, my friend? And what happened when you consume lots of young energy after doing all the nighttime exercise to produce a baby? Then you have to eat to provide yourself with all those extra young energy so that you can continue to be very energetic to do those nighttime exercise to produce a baby, right, my friend? So you have to always like observe like many different things about the weather, the climate you're living in, and also what are the things that you're doing right now, and observe your body constantly about, okay, the yin and yang, the balance, and find the right amount of balance, okay? So yeah, I love that. I love that nighttime exercise. Okay, good for you, my friend. You must be very healthy to enjoy many nighttime exercise, but not too much, okay? Not too many nighttime exercise, okay? So also we talk about the balance, right? Yeah, we talk about the balance, right? Yeah. Also, according to the Chinese theory, so how are you able to live 140 years old? Okay, okay, I have to stop a little bit before I come to this next topic. Yeah, guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. How many of you guys have followed me? If you haven't followed me, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. And also, for those of you who haven't joined my team, appreciate if some of you could join my team. Okay, 啊，有没有谁可以加一下粉丝团的？可以帮忙加一下粉丝团。好，我需要一些粉丝团。Yeah, it'd be great if you guys could join my team. So first of all, follow me if you haven't followed me, my friends. Definitely follow me if you find this conversation to be quite interesting. Definitely sharing lots of the Chinese wisdom to help us live a longer life. Okay. So if you want to live 140 years old, I asked this question at the beginning of the live and said, how many of you guys want to live 140 years old? Like many of you guys said you want to, okay? So how do we live 140 years old? First of all, follow me, okay? First of all, follow me, and second, tap the screen to sending the likes, okay? And also, my friends, it'd be great if some of you could join my team, okay? 比如中国的宝宝们帮我加一下粉丝团，我只需要5个。I only need 5 people to join my team. Anyone can help me with that by joining my team. Need 5. Only need 5 people to join my team, okay? Friends, join my team, okay? Yeah, it'd be great if some friends could join my team. 有没有中国宝宝可以帮忙加一下粉丝团的？不知道外国宝宝加不加得了？Yeah, okay, fantastic. And follow me, please, okay, friends. Back to the topic. So we're saying that in the Chinese kind of system, it's very important. Oh, 谢谢. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, thank you, 鸟鸟教信徒. Yeah. So we're saying that you have always to live a life according to the cycle of the nature. According to the cycle of the nature. Yeah, you have to live according to the cycle of the nature. For example, when the sun rises in the morning, you need to wake up, right? When the sun falls, that's the moment you need to start to rest. And also, so nowadays, like in modern lives, because of like we have a lot of work to do, because of lots of errands we need to run, and also because of all the different things, we actually are not living our life according to the cycle. For example, many young people, they actually sleep till very late in the morning and wake up, right? How many of you guys have this habit of waking up really late in the morning, especially during weekends? Yeah, type 1 if you actually sleep very late, wake up very late in the morning on weekends. Type 1 if you guys actually have a lazy morning and sleep till very late in the morning. Type 1, especially on weekends. How many of you guys? Yeah, let me know. How many of you guys like type 1 if you would stay up late, wake up very late in the morning? Type 1. Okay, type 1. Wait, why like people on Reno don't really like to interact, my friends? But guys, please send your comments. Sending your comments. Don't just watch, okay? I guess like many people just probably just don't watch it. You just probably just place your phone by the side, just listen, right? Don't I need more interactions, okay? So guys, I don't, and I actually never ask for gifts. I usually just ask people to tap the screen to send in the likes. So I'm completely doing this for free, right? I'm also not selling anything in here right now, right? So one way to show you really appreciate me doing this live streaming every day is by having more interactions with me, okay? So definitely sending the comments. That's one way of helping me, okay? Because I really want to get more followers, and one way of having more followers is to have this live stream to be pushed to more people. And how can it be pushed to more people is to have people interact with me. So this algorithm of different platforms, how they decide whether they should recommend this live stream to more people is to see like whether the interaction inside the live stream is good enough, okay? So say for example, if you guys could interact with me very frequently, always replying to the questions in the common areas that I ask, then more people would this live stream will be pushed to more people, and more people will come in, and then I will have more followers, okay? So that is one way I ask you guys to do me a favor, okay? So not only you guys follow me, just try to interact with me, okay? So I ask a question, please answer, okay? So my question here is like, do you guys wake up late in the morning? Do you guys like wake up late in the morning, especially during weekends? If you do, type 1. If you don't, type 2, okay? Type 1 if like Dietrich every day. Yeah, thank you, no dog. Yeah, so type 1 if you guys wake up very late in the morning. Type 2 if you guys don't wake up very late in the morning. You guys like wake up early. Yeah, wake up late, type 1. Wake up early, type 2. Yeah. Yeah, type 2 if you wake up early. Type 1 if you wake up late. Yeah. So like let's see, what do you guys like, wake up early or wake up late? Okay, thanks, my friend on Red Note. You guys are finally replying. Thank you so much. Yeah, more interactions, my friend. That is the one way that you guys can help me. Yeah. Well, many people are Red Note type 2. I guess it's because you guys watch my live, and I usually do lives very early in the mornings. That's why you guys need to wake up early, right? Yeah. So, but on TT, I saw many people type 1, right? Still, there are many people who type 1. You say that you wake up late, right? So Nowadays, like many people have this kind of habit, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. each day. That is fantastic, my friend. You're living a very, very healthy life. Is it Gen X? Or let me see. Yeah, Gen X. That is very good. So, according to the Chinese theory, the Chinese system, right? You need to live a life according to the nature cycle. So when the sun rises, that's the moment that you need to wake up. So nowadays, like many young people, they actually wake up really late in the morning and go to sleep really late in the night, right? For those of you who type one, meaning that you wake up really late, I guess you also go to sleep very late, right? So that is like I can't sleep early. I know like I there was a period of time that I just went to sleep at 2 a.m. In the midnight. It was not very good for my health. So for that 1 year, I always went to sleep at 2 a.m. at night. Like I grow old so fast for that 1 year. So like it's always good to live a life according to how the sun rises and how the sun falls, right? So definitely try to wake up early if you guys can, haven't formed this kind of habit. Wake up early. Just wake up when the sun rises and start to rest when the sun falls. So there's a reason why the sun rises at this point of time and falls at this point of time, right? If you look, you observe the nature. The nature is always like that. All the animals, they would wake up and start to go out and hunt, right? When the not all the animal, majority of the animals, right? They would wake up and start go out and hunt to live the day when the sun rises, right? And when the sun falls, they start to enjoy their night, right? So for human beings, it's always like that too, right? If you want to live longer, always live your life according to the cycle of the nature, right? Also, according to the Chinese traditional Chinese medicine system, you're not supposed to have lots of sweat in the night. So nowadays, like many young people also have this habit of doing exercise in the evening, right? I've told my husband multiple times that you should not just do weightlifting, it's very late at the night. However, he has jobs during the daytime, so that's the only thing he could do during the nighttime, right? Exercise during the nighttime, right? So, well, according to Chinese medicine system, that is actually not good. So how do you survive menopause? What does menopause mean, Gen X? I don't know what does menopause mean, my friend. Can you explain or translate it into Chinese so that I know? Yeah. So for example, like many nowadays, like many young people, they would like do lots of exercise, workout during the nighttime, and have lots of sweat. So according to the Chinese theory, that you actually morning time is the time that the whole body becomes the energy starts to build, right? When the energy starts to build and you work out, that is good for your body. However, when the nighttime is supposed to be the time when you should rest your body, it should be like all the things starts to shrink, right? 早上是升，晚上是收，对吧? Well, you should have actually everything start to rest and start to shrink. That's the moment that you need to kind of rest. And so it's according to the Chinese medicine system, that is not good to sweat heavily during the night because the nighttime is supposed to preserve the energy in your body rather than to consume the energy, right? In the nighttime. Nighttime is for the time that you should sleep. So we all say that actually the sweat, like when you work out the sweat is also a form of your energy. If you sweat a lot, it's also removing the energy from your body. So sweating at the same time removing the energy, it also removes the toxic inside your body, right? However, like in the nighttime, when it's the time that you're supposed to preserve the energy, then that's not the time that you should exercise a lot and sweat a lot because you're actually, consuming all the energy inside your body. So these are all the Chinese wisdom, okay, about the whole like how to keep your body healthy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Menopause. Now I know what does menopause mean. Like when your period stop, right? Yeah. Okay, that comes to another very interesting thing. Okay, according to 《黄帝内经》, man andropause. What is andropause? Well, I know what is menopause. Like what that means, like women stop the period, right? But men doesn't have a period. What does andropause mean? What does a man stop period mean? Andropause. What does andropause mean? Yeah, guys, teach me. Okay, what does andropause mean? Like men don't have period. Like for women stop period, that's called menopause. Then what does andropause mean? Yeah, yeah. So Okay, so that's what like so it's good to sweat a tiny bit, not sweat a whole lot amount. So according to the Chinese medicine, it's good to sweat a little bit, not sweat a lot. Okay, to sweat like heavily sweat, that is actually not good. Yeah. So that's also why, like for the nighttime exercise, don't be overly fierce or overly violent, okay? And don't do it too many times for a week, okay? You guys know what kind of night exercise I'm talking about, okay? Yeah. So okay, so since Gen X asked about this menopause problem, so okay, according to Chinese medicines traditional medicine system, according to Huangdi Neijing, females every 7 years is a cycle. Okay, every 7 years is a cycle for females, and for men that's 8 years. Every 8 years is a cycle. Okay, so for females, I'm just gonna use female as an example. Okay, so 7 years old girl is a time when a girl starts to change the teeth, right? Start to grow the body. So boys are like 8 years old. Okay, so when you observe like little girls and little boys, usually girls grow taller than boys, right? Then up to a moment, then all of a sudden like boys start to grow taller than girls, right? When they're little, like girls usually grows faster than the boys, right? Taller than boys, and also like mature than boys, right? Because the cycle for girls is like 7 years old, every 7 years, every 7 years, but for guys it's like every 8 years. Okay, so according to the traditional Chinese medicine system, we look at the lady's entire life. That's every 7 years is a cycle. So when a girl is like 7 years old, then they start to grow teeth, change teeth, right? And start to grow, right? And with 14 years old, when it's 14 years old, girls start to have their very first period. Okay, so one thing I need to first of all let you guys know, like when I'm talking about the 7 years, 14 years old, I'm talking about the Chinese 7 years, Chinese 14 years old. So for Chinese people, we start to count the age when the was babies comes into shape in mom's belly. So when the baby is born, it immediately becomes 1 year old. Okay, that's a Chinese age. Okay, for those of you who don't know about it, when a baby is born in China, immediately it becomes 1 year old because we count the age starting when the baby is in the belly. Okay, so when the baby is in the belly, it's like this 5 months, 10 months, old. When the baby is born, that is already 1 year old. So we start to counting the baby from the age when they is inside the belly. Okay, yeah, we have this is called 虚岁. There's also 10岁, right? 虚岁 is the nominal age, and 10岁is the actual age. So for in the Western world, that you guys would count the baby after the baby was born, right? When the baby was born, the baby is like age 0, right? When it's 1 year old, it's 1 year old. When it's 2 year old, it's 2 year old, right? So for the Chinese baby, when baby's inside the belly, already like 1 year old. So when the baby is born, they're already 1 year old. So we call it 虚岁. Okay. So the I'm not a Chinese medicine doctor, my friend, but I'm very passionate about the traditional Chinese medicine. I study a lot. So that is why I'm sharing a lot of my very shallow knowledge to you guys. Hopefully it makes you guys find it very interesting and entertaining. Might open the door for you guys to form some interest. Like you guys will start to get interested in the traditional Chinese medicine and want to study more about it, right? Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay. Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Okay. How many guys have followed me? And you haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me. Okay? Don't forget to follow me and keep on tapping the screen to sending likes. And join my team, my friend. Join my team. Yeah, join my team. Yeah. So for my foreign friends, how many of you have tried traditional Chinese medicine? If you have tried traditional, so if you have tried traditional Chinese medicine, type 1. If you haven't tried it, type 2. Okay? Type 1 if you have tried traditional medicine. Type 2 if you haven't tried traditional medicine, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Type 1 if you have tried traditional Chinese medicine. If type 2 if you haven't tried traditional Chinese medicine. Okay. Type 1 if you tried traditional Chinese medicine. Okay, great. There are many foreign friends who have tried traditional Chinese medicine. That is terrific. Okay, for those of you who haven't tried traditional Chinese medicine, that is great because I am sharing with you many knowledge about traditional Chinese medicine so that you would know that all the herbs, all the herbal system in Chinese medicine, these are not superstition. These are the quite logical and quite scientifically true. Okay, so I was sharing before, like in the traditional Chinese medicine system, for ladies, it's always 7 years in the cycle, and for guys, it's always 8 years a cycle. And the 7 years is a traditional, is a Chinese age. Okay, so if you the translate that into the Western age. So, for example, when we say a girl started to grow, change teeth at the age of 7, in West, that's the age of 6, right? 有10岁虚岁之别，对吧? So as a disclaimer, every years I'm talking about in here when I'm saying it, for foreigners, just minus that by 1, and that is the real age, okay? So I'm using everything in the Chinese way, okay? So starting from the Chinese age of 7, girls start to grow teeth, right? And start to grow faster, taller, right? And at the age of 14, which is the age of 13, maybe, right, in the Western world, then that's the time that, some girls start to have their first period, right? And starting from 37、21, 20 years old, then that is the time that a lady becomes like start to shine, right? And start to become like really beautiful. Like in China, we have a saying that 女大十八变, right? Which means that when a girl grows up, like she would change like 18 times, right? Until the point that she becomes like very gorgeous, right? So just think about yourself, right? Before the age of 21, you just basically look like a teenager, look like a very, you know, like just a child, right? But starting from the age of 20, actually, the girls all of a sudden become very stunning, becomes like increasingly beautiful, right? All the way till the age of 28, Chinese age of 28, which is Western age of 27, right? 27, right? 27, 28, that is the time when you reach the peak, when the lady reached the peak, the most beautiful time, the most beautiful time. So every 7 years is a cycle, okay? Most beautiful time of the years when you're like the age of 27, 28. Okay, I'm done. So Eddie, I've already seen your comment, so no more. Okay, no more of that. Okay, no more comment like that. You're actually spamming here. Okay, Eddie 007, just stop. Okay, please do me a favor, just stop it. I've seen your comment. Okay, yeah, let others people sending the comments. Okay, yeah, okay, great, thank you for that. Yeah, and okay, let's continue. Right, so 27, 28. What's the next cycle? The next cycle is the age of 35, right? Or the 34. So you will notice like many ladies, when they reach the age of 35 years old or 34 years old, 35 years old, they all of a sudden become aged. So for example, many ladies before the age of 34, 35, they still look like 20th, right? Still look like extremely young, even though they're mentally very mature. However, once they reach the age of 34, 35, all of a sudden, you know, the look, everything starts to change. Yeah, just think, okay, just think and just to observe. Like if you have friends or you yourself is a lady over the age of 34, 35, remember, just recall the days like when the time, like do you actually observe yourself have those kind of things? Because like 34 and 35 is the like the Chinese 35 or the Western 34 is the cycle, the point of the time that the body of a female start to change. Okay, that's another point of the cycle. This is the point of the cycle that the ladies, start to, we say that the age of 27, 28 is like the peak time, right? When you're like the most shiny women, and the age of 34 and 35 is the time that you start to go the downward trend in terms of the body. Okay, in terms of body and the cycle. So the next cycle is what? 五七三七三五三七二四七二十五，五七三十五，六七四十二 around 42 years old, right? Then that's the time that people start to have the problems of menopause, right? Because these are all the cycles, the natural kind of cycles, like okay, you reach this age, then you're supposed to become like that. This is the whole Chinese system. So if you have like, if you're living a life, so it's always very important to observe the different time point. For example, if you have a daughter, and the daughter is supposed to have her very first period at the time of 13, 14 years old, right? But nowadays, because we eat a lot of food, the lots of food have like different kind of things like artificial ingredients in it that is not so good to our health. So many girls actually start to have a period at a very young age. Some girls even have a period at the age of 9 or 10, right? These are not good, right? It's better if we could go across the cycle, like just the cycle as mentioned in the Chinese traditional medicine, right? Every 7 years is a cycle. So, so for if you have a baby start to grow teeth before the age of 6, like 4 years old, that is not good, right? Always the cycle is the best. That is the best timing, and also the best time to have the first period at around 13 years old. That is the best, right? And also later on, for ladies, you if you are having a menopause, if that's the right age, then that also good. It's always like yeah, you start to have you hardly have gray hair at 45, right? Yeah, so like also for ladies, they start to if you look at the cycle when you're at 45, you're actually supposed to start to have gray hair, right? What's the cycle after 42? 六七四十二，七七四十九. When it's around 49 years old is the time you start to have gray hairs, right? Because that's the next cycle. So it's very important, like if you want to live your life a very healthy life, always go across the cycles to observe what's the right thing that should happen in your age. If you anything that happens before that age, then it's no good. It means that your body is aging faster than others. So this is the Chinese traditional Chinese medicine kind of system. For men, it's also the same, but the men is like 8 years as a cycle, right? Guys start to grow teeth at the age of 8, or in Western age, that is 7, right? And then 16, so your body start to grow, right? You start to 发育了, right? Start to have like beard, start to have what this thing called, right? Starting from the age of 15, right? And after that is 16岁28、16、38、24 24 years old is the time you start to show your like muscular you're strong, right? 324、48、32 and your peak time is the age of 31 32, right? And afterwards you start to decline. Yeah, that's the whole cycle. Yeah, what happens at 140 years old? Yeah, exactly. What happened to 140 years old? So that's why we need to figure out, right, my friend? All need to figure out, we all need to figure out what would happen when we are 140 years old. So that's why you guys come into this live. We're all discussing how to live 140 years old, right, my friend? So first of all, in order to reach this goal of living 140 years old and finally figure out what are people like and when they are 140 years old, you need to follow me, okay, my friend? You need to follow me. Yeah. So I have a beard when I was 15 years old. Yeah, you start to grow beard at 15 years old, right, CJ? Yeah, so according to Chinese traditional Chinese medicine system, that is the right time, right? When you're 15, which in Chinese that is 16 years old, right? You're at the second cycle. That's the point you start to grow beard, right? So very healthy. That means that you're very healthy, right? I'm coming back in 91 years to share the outcome. That is fantastic. Can you share your skincare routine? Yeah, sure, my friend. So the skin, I have some bad eye bags. Yeah. Oh, okay. So if you have a bad eye bags, and also like for people who ask me about the skincare routine, okay, there's something we can share in here. Okay, I have a little tiny things in here. This is called 刮痧板. Okay, this is 刮痧板. Okay, this is very good. You're so funny. Yeah, there are many funny comments in here. Very funny people here. Yeah. So many people would suffer with like heavy eye bags, right? Do you have heavy eye bag problems, my friend? How many of you guys have eye bag problems? Type 1 if you have eye bag problems. Type 1 if you have eye bag problems. Yeah. Type 1 if you have eye bag problems in here. Yeah. Type 2 if you don't. Okay. Type 2 if you don't. Yeah. Type 1 if you have eye bag problems. I'm pretty sure there are many people who have eye bag problems. Yeah. Type 1. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my friend on red note. 声音有点小。OK，我看看怎么弄，把声音弄大一点。How about now? Is the voice louder? Is it louder? Is it louder? If it's not still not louder, okay, now it might be louder. Yeah, is it louder, my friend? Is it louder? Yeah, there's someone saying that it's not loud enough. Yeah. Okay. So friend on red note, again, I'm gonna ask you guys. You guys like type in the comment area to interact with me, okay? To interact with me, I definitely need a lot of interaction. 好多了, okay, great. Yeah, definitely a lot of interaction. Okay, guys on red note. Oh yeah, and also for those of you who haven't follow me and join my team, OK？有没有中国宝宝可以加一下粉丝团的？加一下粉丝团，帮我加一下好吗？我每天只需要5个就好了，5个他会给我送流量，好吗？给我送流量，所以大家加一下，加我5个。Yeah, I only need 5 people to join my team because after having 5 people join my team, then I will be able to get more extra traffic. Yeah. So and also guys, please interact with me. Somehow people on Reddit are so quiet. I don't know. Like I really like TikTok because people really interact a lot there. So I really like it. Yeah. So okay, so many people have the problem of eye bags, right? Okay, so according to the traditional Chinese medicine system, we have lots of pressure points on our body, right? Throughout the entire body, right? And also we say there are lots of like 经啊,经脉. How do you say 经脉 in English? So there are many like the Chinese kind of veins, the Chinese there are how to say 经脉啊?脉络, how to say? So for example, there is a line in your back that is the yang mai. That is we mentioned about the yang and yin, right? There is like one vein. So don't think that vein as the don't think the vein as the western vein, okay? It's not those kind of veins. It's not those veins, okay? Those veins. No, no, no. The vein I'm talking about is not those veins, okay? I'm talking about those traditional Chinese vein, okay? So there are the Chinese veins, okay? Those are like imaginary veins, okay? So you have like different veins in your body, right? For example, the veins on your back. There is a vein on your back that is called yang jing 啊,这个就是阳经. That's yang. So that's why there's a saying that in traditional Chinese that during the summertime when the sun is at its strongest, just lie under the sun and then let the sunlight expose directly on your back. In Chinese, we call it 晒背. And that is a very healthy thing to do, but don't do it for too long, okay? Like 10 minutes, 20 minutes is enough. Yeah, I know like many of the Western friends, many of the Western people really like sunbath, right? You guys really like to do sunbath, like just lying, under the sun, right? So next time, just don't facing the sun, just turn your back to the sun, okay? Because according to the traditional Chinese, there is a line, yes, meridian line, yeah, there is a 中脉, yes, I think that should be right. So there is a chakra like Naruto. Yeah. I watched Naruto too. Yeah. It's the Chinese, there's very like chakra, I think because the author who wrote this who made this cartoon Naruto, the many theories inside is very Buddhist and very Chinese, I have to say. So chocolate is very much just like the energy, the chi. I think chi is very like the chocolate in Naruto. Yeah. So for those of you guys don't know what Naruto is a Japanese cartoon, a very very famous Japanese cartoon that talks about ninja and somehow like how they say that all the ninjas are able to how the ninjas inside Naruto are able to have all those kind of taxes by using the energy inside the body, and the energy is called chakra. And chakra, like according to the Chinese system, is basically just our qi, right? Yeah, Naruto, yes, 火影忍者,火影忍者里面不是有讲那什么查克拉嘛，对吧？那个查克拉其实就是中国的这个气嘛，你要用这个气来去怎么汇聚，and start to do all those kind of things and start to like very Japanese animation, yes, it's a very very good Japanese animation. I really like it. Yeah. So back to the major topic, right to the main topic. So we are saying that there is a like a vein, a line on the back, middle line or middle vein on your back. So that's why, especially during the summertime, if you could just lie under the sun, your back facing the sun, and have the sunlight expose your back to the sunlight for around 10 minutes, 20 minutes, that is good, especially during 三伏天. So in China, we have altogether 24 节气. How to say 节气? So like we know that the earth will spin around the sun, right? So the earth will spin itself one day a time, right? Spin itself one day at a time. And that's why we have day and night, right? And the sun will spin around the sun. And once it finished one cycle of spinning, that is like a year, right? So every 15 degrees when the earth spin around the sun, that is considered to be one 节气, okay? So in Chinese, we have altogether 24 different 节气, which means like whenever this earth spin around the sun for another 15 degrees, we come into a new 节气. Yeah, a new 节气. So there are altogether 24 different 节气s, right? If you count it divided 360 360 degrees by 24, I think that is around 15 degrees, right? So whenever this earth spin around the sun for 15 degrees, we come into a new 节气. So there are altogether 24 节气in the Chinese system, and in each 节气, you're supposed to do something very different. Every 15 degrees is 1 hour. I mean, you're talking, DM, you're talking about this Earth spin by itself. I'm saying that the Earth spin around the sun. Okay, so the Earth spin by itself every 15 degree might be 1 hour, but when the Earth is spinning around the sun every 15 degree is one 节气. Yeah, so okay, so in different 节气, you're supposed to do different things. For example, during the summertime, there are also different 节气, right? So for one 节气, which is called 三伏天的节气, then you are supposed to, do something like I said. So during 三伏天, that's the time that the Earth is the closest to the sun. Okay, is the closest to the sun. When the Earth is closest to the sun power is at the strongest to the sun, and that is the time that you should do what I say, that just do some sunbathing, right? Exposing your back to the sun, and the sun energy come into your body, and that is going to remove all the coldness inside your body, so that to keep your body a more balanced, more healthy way. So that is like what we say, uh 晒背. So there's, like I said, there's a line in the back, right? That is called the yang line. We say yang means like facing the sun, right? So this line is facing the sun. So you have to face your back to the sun, right? So in front of our body, we have this line called 阴茎. 阴茎是在这边的. Here, this is the yin line. So there are different lines in our body, right? So also on the face, we have lots of pressure points, right? So all those kind of pressure points are all along those kind of lines I'm talking about, okay? So we were discussing what? We were discussing about eye bags and also skincare routines, right? So there are ways to make your face look more shiny, more glowy by just using this to do something to your face, okay? But I need to drink some water first before I can continue with that, okay? Yeah, and guys, follow me, please, okay? Follow me, please. So I use this a lot, okay? 这是一个非常舒服的刮痧板，感觉马上要1、2、3上链接。Yeah, so for example, many of the times, the reason why we would have like heavy eye bags in here or even like black circles in here is because there's lots of like blockages on our face. Okay, so we have lots of lines. Like I said, we have like the very big lines, which is the yin line and the yang lines, right? On our face, there are also lots of those lines in here. So those lines are used to carry all the qi xue, right? All the qi or the energy. There are also lots of veins on the face also to carry all the energies. So the energy is supposed to flow inside the body, also inside the face, and also this limb 淋巴怎么说？淋巴怎么说？ People help me. How to say 淋巴? Lim was something. The system. Yeah. 来帮我一下，怎么说淋巴来着？忘了，淋巴怎么说？淋巴系统。Yeah. So also, okay. Yeah, lymphatic. Yes, exactly. Lymphatic system, right? Also, those lymphatic system. Is it? Did I pronounce it right? Is it lymphatic system or lymphatic system? Is it lymphatic system or lymphatic system? Yeah. Somehow, like we have those kind of but at least you guys get what I'm saying, right? Okay, lymphatic system, right? Okay, so the lymphatic system, and here there's also a line in here. Okay, line in here. This is like a lymphatic system, right? So your face has lots of the pressure points and lots of veins, lots of lines in here. This is a lymphatic line, right? We also have also other kind of lines in the face. So the reason why you start to have lots of very heavy eye bags is because there are blockage in here, and all the energy is blocked at this area. It can't flow to other areas. So somehow this part start to swell and you start to have heavy eye bags. 颜值这么低吗？你有关注我吗？不是奶龙。Yeah. So also the reason why like some people will start to have like a tumor, start to have those kind of problems is also because there are blockage in some of the veins, right? So that's why like we need to do, yeah, digestive system as well, right? So that is why like we need to use our hand to help our body, to help those kind of veins, those kind of lines, to remove all the blockage, you know, so that every energy can flow freely to all the different areas. Okay, so for example, you have very high heavy eye bags. One of the things you could do, you could use your fingers. You could also use this thing. You know, this is like easier, the more comfortable, is by doing something like that. Okay? So there is also lots of veins and lots of pressure points around your eye areas, right? So in order to prevent the blockage, or like if you already have the blockage, try to remove the blockage, you know, just by pressure those points to make it become a lot more smooth, a lot smoother, right? You could also use your hand to feel it. For example, you could feel like, for example, you could feel there are some places you have some blockage in here. And after you press for a while, you could no longer feel there's any blockage in here. And like everything is very smooth. For example, also here, you could press it. When I press it, I feel like this is pretty sore, right? And then when you press it for longer, it's no longer like very sore, right? So also like let me try feel like is there any places I could feel like blockage in here? Yeah, for example here, like I went when I press I think I'm pretty okay, but I believe that many people when you press it here, you would feel there's a blockage in here, right? Can you feel it? Can you guys feel it? Can you guys feel like there is a blockage in here? Like I think I'm pretty okay. Yeah, but before like when I press it, I could feel there's a blockage in here. Okay, I could feel like a tiny kind of blockage in here. Yeah, I could feel there's a tiny bit of a blockage in here. Yeah, guys, how many of you guys are trying a bit with me? How many guys are trying it with me? Okay, no, that is great that you don't have anything. Like for me, I could feel there is a small thing. There's a small clock, small thing blocked in here. Yeah, a little bit of things like here. Yeah, do you guys feel it as well? Do you guys feel it as well? Yeah. So yeah, just do this. You feel it. Yeah. So just try to press it here a longer. Yeah, great. You don't have blockage. If you feel like for me, I feel there's a blockage in here. Just press it longer, and it will become smaller. It will become smaller and even gone. Yeah. So so if you have like heavy eye bags, like one of the things you could do is just like press it. You could also do something like this. This is pretty comfortable using a 刮痧板来去刮一刮. Yeah, use it to do it. But like for ladies, guys as well, so before you do it, definitely apply some oil, some of those like facial oils, so that because if you don't apply facial oils when you do it, what would happen? There will be wrinkles. Okay, so in order to prevent wrinkles, definitely apply some oil, some facial oils to your face or creams, those like very creamy, oily creams to your face first, so that when you do it, there won't be any wrinkles. Okay, yeah. So there are many ways of doing it. So like no matter guys or ladies, we always want to have a very young look, right? One of the things that we would have when we become age is the face start to collapse, right? Like this, and we start to have like lots of wrinkles in here and in here, right? And you always want to have your face to be lifted so that you would look younger, right? So you guys could actually try, okay, try it at home after the live, try it, or you could actually just try it with me right now. Like for example, just look at mirror or just take a photo of yourself with left, left, left face and right face, right? And just do like one half of the face by doing this. Okay. So first of all, you know, do something like this to lift it, or you could just use your hand, right? If you use your hand, just do something like this. Do something like this. Applies to both men and females, right? Men and women, both of you guys can do something like this, but apply some oils. Okay, I don't have any oils, so that's why like I don't feel like doing it really good. Okay, so using your hand like this. Okay, press this around here. There's a what we call there's a wrinkle in here, right? Just use your hand wrinkle and start to push your face upwards, and then push your face upwards. Yeah, if you have this is even better, right? It helps with it. Yeah, pushes upwards. Yeah, yeah, and do it for example, half of the face for like 50 times, okay? 50 times. Yeah. And also you could also do this, you know, it has a small thing right here. Like I really like to do this, right? Okay, do this. And also it'd be even better if you could, you know, because we say there's a lymphatic line in here, right? It helps, you know, lymphatic line in here. Do something like this. Okay, like this, like this. If you only has bare hand, just do like what I said. And here, and then comes down, okay? 50 times one side, okay? 50 times one side. Check the mirror, see it. You would find this part of your face to be lifted a little bit compared to this side. Seriously, no jokes, okay? So you do like 50 times of this and 50 times of this, like using this, like 50 times of this, but do it, you know, don't do it like very heavily, you know, don't do that, okay? It's not good for your skin. Do it very smoothly and do it very, very, very tenderly, you know, like this 50 times, but you have to lift it, okay? Lift it and also lift it. You would after 50, 50, okay? Not 50, not 15, okay? 50. Yeah. So afterwards, just do it to half your face. You would immediately see this part of your face to be lifted and the jawline to be a lot clearer. Clearer. Try it, guys. Promise you would try it, okay? Promise me you would try it after the live stream today. Okay, but definitely apply some oil or some heavy cream. Otherwise, it would be very hard to push, okay? Like for me, I don't have any oil on my face. It's hard to push. But if you apply some oil, you start to push it, it's gonna be good, okay? So for example, if you have heavy eye bags around your eyes, do something like this. But eyes, because the skin around the eyes are like really sensitive. So when you do the eyes, definitely do it like using smaller strength, okay? Do it like softly, way more softly. Here you could be relatively, you know, not so soft. This is fine. But when you do around the iris, relatively soft, okay? Soft. Or you could just use this, like do like the pressure points, okay? Pressure points. Yeah, it's very, very, very actually very comfortable. Yeah, and something like this. Of course, when it comes to the forehead, many people have forehead wrinkles, right? You could do this. I would do this, you know, something like that. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, it's always good. So that's how you're able to lift your face so that your face look young. Yeah. Many people say I look very young compared to my real age. I actually definitely look young. So that's why people say that I'm 19 years old, which well, I'm actually way, 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 way after 19 years old. Yeah. So so these are all those kind of yeah for men as well, my friend. No matter man, woman, like as long as you want to look young. So this is not only for helping you to look young, it's also good for the body, you know, by pressure all the points. You know, for example, when I say like pressure the points the around your eyes, this is not only good for removing the eye bags for a better look, it's also good for your eyes, you know, especially after like nowadays people will stare at the phone for a long time, right? That's gonna hurt your eyes, it's not good for your eyes, right? By just doing this, it's gonna relax your eyes. Like many of you guys, like for me, I really like doing this, right? Doing this because there are two pressure points in here. Like I'm pretty sure many Westerners would also like to do it. There are like pressure points in here. So whenever you do this, you're actually doing the pressure point, you're pressing the pressure points in here, right? To help relax the eyes. And if you do this, right, the pressure points around the eyes is gonna be very good for your eyes, right? And also I shared about, you know, do something like this, right? Because there is a line in here, which is a lymphatic line, right? By doing this, you're actually helping your body to detox faster, right? So all of these are really good for the body, really good for the body. So that's why we say like these are the things that you guys could do. So it's not only for a better look, like females, like women really like to have a better look. Like you would say, oh, I want to do it because I want to look younger, but also applies to men because by doing all of these, it's not only good for helping you look better, it's also good for the health. Yeah, I'm doing it now. Yeah, good for you, my friend. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. Yeah. So okay, so I guess that answers the question like how to remove the eye bags and also the skincare routine, right? Yeah. So there is a period of time that I do it a lot. I do it a lot. I consider that to be one of my secret of keeping myself look relatively young. Yeah. But nowadays, because like so busy, I am actually being a bit of lazy of doing all of that. I should probably just going back to do all that because of because that's good for like I said, good for the skin and good for looking young. Yeah, good for the body. However, I feel like the best for looking young and having the best thing for skincare routine is not about what we do from the outside. It's about how you are gonna treat your body from inside, right? So that's why we mention about, what are the food you should eat, what are the food you should eat in order to keep your body very balanced. Because once your body is like very balanced, then that's the moment that you're gonna look best, right? So we have the saying that in Chinese that if you have 气血很充足, like you have enough of the 气血in your body, then you will have lots of enough energy in your body and you look very energetic. And that's when you actually are very healthy and you look actually the most beautiful and most handsome period of time. So it's very important when we want to do all the skincare routine, we focus more on the inner side, building the inner health, inner balance of our body through eating and also through keeping a very healthy mindset, like a very good mental health status, right? Mental health status, right? So that's why we shared yesterday and day before also about like, hey, it's very important that we need don't overthink, right? For example, for these past 2 days, once I shared 2 days ago about we should think less, like worry less and anxious about our lives, just live every day. Life is pretty meaningless, right? Just don't always push ourselves too hard, right? Just live every day in a more relaxed way. I told you guys about that, and I started to do that myself as well, right? And the moment I started doing that, I could immediately see the skin texture becomes better. The skin texture becomes better. So if you guys can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see, like when I see through the mirror and I see through my own phone, I can see that my skin is actually glowing. Yeah, my skin is actually glowing. I could see, I could feel those kind of glow on the skin texture. I don't have that. It's just because these past several days, I have actually rechanged the kind of, the kind of way of thinking. Like I don't overthink. Lots of makeup. No, my friend Josh, you're wrong. No makeup. See, no makeup. Well, I only did some eyebrows and also some eyeshadows and a little bit of lipsticks, but there's no makeups, no foundations at all. Okay, no foundations at all. Okay, you guys see, no foundations at all. Yeah, so it's all because of those change inside the heart. Okay, those change inside the heart that I start to worry less. Like every day when I go to sleep, I just tell myself like, hey, it's time for you to rest. Just don't think. Let your brain rest. Right? Do you meditate? Uh, I used to meditate a lot, but nowadays I don't meditate a lot, but I still consider meditate to be a very good habit, a habit that people should have. Yeah, a habit people should have. Like meditate is very good for calming yourself down. So we're sharing yesterday and the day before that one of the secret to living 140 years old is to always keep a very calm heart, right? There it comes to two folds. The first one fold is keep a calm heart by what? By don't have overly exaggerated emotion, right? Don't be overly angry. Don't be overly excited. Don't be overly happy, overly sad. Don't have those overly exaggerated kind of emotion. Just keep your heart to be relatively calm, relatively happy. That is best, right? That is one fold. And the second fold is just don't overthink, over worry, right? Don't think, always think, oh, think about the things that's going on in the world, right? Lots of the tariffs as things happening in the world, causing lots of chaos in the world, right? And all the markets is down, all those things. But don't worry because there's a saying in China, like 否极泰来, everything that goes to one side will come back to the other side eventually because it's always about a cycle. So when everything has become like really, really, really bad, that's also the moment when the things will become good eventually. So it's always a cycle. So when you are very, very in a very bad situation, just think that according to the Chinese theory of yin and yang, 阴极阳来，阳极阴来. Yeah, in the Chinese saying, when you are in a very, very bad status, it means that very soon you're going upwards and good things will happen because life is also about a balance. When you're losing the balance, you will have come back to the middle, right? When you're losing balance, come come to one point, then you'll come back to the middle, and you're going too good. You're having a really good life right now. Your everything is so smooth, everything is going on so well. You also need to be cautious. Why? Because that's the moment you probably will have something bad happening in your life. So you need to be cautious even though you're at the best period at the peak of your life. Because life is a cycle, life is a balance, right? So those are all the Chinese wisdom. It's always about reaching the balance, and the balance in the middle is always the best, right? That's nice to hear because I'm having a bad time. John, good thing will happen very soon. Just try to live another day. Just try to be positive because according to the Chinese theory, yin ji yang lai, your yang will come very soon. Okay. So that is like also, so that's why like we don't need to worry a lot. Don't need to think too much about the kind of life we live, right? Because it has its own cycle. Good things will happen eventually. So don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. So by doing that, by keeping a mental health, by keeping a very healthy, a very positive kind of heart, that's also one way to make ourselves look beautiful. I feel like even though there are so many skincare products out there, to be honest, I feel like the best skincare products is actually keeping the good balance inside your body. So if you have a very good balance inside your body, you actually look already very beautiful, really handsome, no matter even though like you don't apply any skincare products to you. Right. Do you guys agree with that, my friend? Do you guys agree with that? Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys agree with that? Yeah. Can you post that to your stream, please? I missed the beginning. Yeah, sure, my friend, Sergi, right? So just so you know, starting from yesterday, I actually I post my entire live stream on YouTube and also for Chinese friend on Bilibili, okay? On Bilibili. So if you want to watch the entire live stream, watch the replay, definitely follow me on YouTube. The username is called Nitrous456. Nitrous456, okay? So I would post, so somehow because this live stream is in English, so I couldn't post the replay on Red Note. So people, lots of people messaged me and asked saying that, hey, I want to watch the replay. And well, before I did something like I would replay it at the night on Red Note. Somehow that's not allowed. The traffic was limited, so that is why like, I thought about another way. Like, why? How can I just let you guys watch replays? So the middle way is just post it on those like long video platforms. So just guys search me Nitrous456 on YouTube or search me Nitrous456 on Bilibili for Chinese friends. So, and there every day after live stream, I would post the entire live stream on both platforms. Okay. So YouTube, Nitrous456, Bilibili, Nitrous456. Yeah. So you guys could watch the entire live stream replay. Okay. Yeah. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Yeah. And I am so flattered, my friend. I'm so flattered. So many people would ask, like, they would want to watch the entire live stream replay, because they find it, you guys must find it very interesting. And also I send it to the Red Note groups, right? Telling people that, oh, I actually post those replays on YouTube and on Bilibili. And there are so many people replied said, cool, great. Okay, it means that people literally would watch the replays, and that makes me feel really touched, my friend. That makes me feel really touched. Yeah. Yeah. So why does Red Nose strike streams for speaking English to us? I don't know, my friend. Literally, I don't know. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. Yeah. 可以帮助我们练口语听力，还有学到很多知识，很喜欢啊，那就太好了，那就太好了。There also like there's a friend who shared in what in his own followers group said that, and also he took a screenshot and sent back to me and said that even though he himself is an English content creator, but he feels like my content, my live stream is better than his, so that is why he shared my live stream inside his followers group. And he also said that for even for Chinese friend, that is also good because somehow people consider my live stream to be very easy to understand because I speak quite accurate and clear English and also tend to use quite simple words. And on top of that, I'm also sharing lots of interesting stuff. So somehow people find it to be a good material to learn English and practice English listening ability, and also at the same time learning new stuff. There are lots of feedbacks like that, and people even said that I find your podcast to be even better for me to learn English than those kind of English teaching kind of podcasts. So I'm very glad to to hear that. Yes, I'm very, very glad to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. So Panda, I saw your question. Just so you know, those are the questions that is not so welcome on in the live stream on Red Nose. So that's why I couldn't really answer to those questions during live stream. But I see like many people ask about those kind of questions around tariff. I will make a post about that. Okay. So for those old followers, you know that I actually am more how to say more insightful when it comes to those kind of like how to keep healthy, how to live longer, whether Chinese culture, the technology, what are the good movies to watch, you know, those kind of things, social phenomenon. So those are kind of topics that we would discuss in the live stream. However, I would make videos sharing my opinions. I absolutely have a lot to share, a lot to discuss with you guys. Like old followers know that, right? I have a lot of knowledge about those kind of topics by posting videos. Okay, I feel like that might be a better way so that at the same time I wouldn't be punished by Red Note. At the same time, I could also answer the questions people have around those are all the things that happened in the world. Yeah, I graduated from LSE, my friend. Yes, I did a master degree in LSE. Yes. Okay. So it's 9:30, my friend. Another day. Yeah, I have a quite busy schedule today. So probably we'll have to say goodbye to all of you guys. So for those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me, okay? How many of you hi guys are still in the live who haven't followed me, my friend? Follow me, please, okay? Follow me. Follow me, my friend. So yeah, yes, exactly. Howard, thank you, my friend. Yeah, Nitrix456 on YouTube for American friends if you want to watch the replay. Yeah. And so time to say goodbye. And thank you so much, my friend, for coming to the live every day and accompanying me for 2 hours. It's never gonna be possible without all of you guys in here to support me. And thank you so much for all the interactions with me. That is absolutely terrific, and so happy to see all of you guys. Okay, just so you guys know again that I usually have my live streaming from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time. China time. Okay, so for those people who find this live stream to be quite engaging, so for those of you who find this live streaming to be quite engaging, come to my live again tomorrow, okay? From 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. every morning, China time, okay? So the live stream will also be recorded, and I will put the replay on YouTube and also on Bilibili. The account name is Nitrix456 with the same user, so same profile photos in here. Okay, in here. Yeah, same profile photos in here. Okay, you'll be definitely, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find me there. Okay, that's where you'll be able to watch the replay. Okay, yeah, and thank you so much again, my friend. For those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me, and I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Okay, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. All the best to you. All the best to you.